Danny Parker go to a bar, meets up with his girlfriend Theo and pretends to be strangers. They meet up with their roommate Karl, who introduces his girlfriend Daisy. Danny and Theo starts dancing, and Theo tells him that she's really into the stranger roleplay thing. They go home later and make out with each other. Danny wakes up late night and grabs some pizza. He hears Karl playing video games, striking vipers. They start playing the game together. They keep playing through the entire night. Theo arrives, woken up by the loud noises. 11 years pass. Danny hosts a barbecue party at his house for his birthday. He and Theo are married and have a 5-year-old kid. Karl arrives at the party, who Theo and Danny haven't seen or talked to in a long time. Karl meets up with Danny, and they hug each other. For his birthday present, he gives him a copy of Striking Vipers X, the newest installment, and the VR kit needed to play it. They both grab a beer. Karl has since broken up with Daisy, and is now seeing a younger woman, Mariella. Later at night, Danny is washing the dishes. Theo tells him to relax and that she'll do the dishes. Theo thinks Danny should hang out with Karl more often. She wants to have him over for dinner. Karl is having dinner with Mariella. They go back home and make out with each other. Karl boots up his copy of the game and sends an invite to Danny. Danny boots up his copy of the game too and puts on the VR kit. They both choose their preferred character, Roxette for Karl and Lance for Danny. They both sit motionless in their chair while feeling the full sensations of their characters in-game. They start fighting each other. Danny gets beaten up by Karl. Danny starts getting a hold of it. Karl ends up on top of Danny during the fight. They start kissing each other, but Danny stops him. They both exit out of the game. Danny goes to his bed and makes out with Theo. Next day, Danny keeps thinking about what happened last night. At night, Theo leaves for a party. Danny reads a book to his son. He starts playing Tetris after putting his son to sleep. He gets an invite from Karl to play Striking Vipers X. He joins the game and tells Karl that he was drunk from the party last night, and this time, they're gonna have a serious game. The round begins, but instead of fighting, they start making out with each other. Danny exits the game, as his son is kicking him in real life. Theo arrives home and Danny pretends to be asleep. Next day, Danny is lost again. At night, he goes into game and makes out with Karl. Later, Theo tries to make out with Danny, but he says he's tired. Karl and Danny continue making out in the game. During one of their sessions, Danny wants to know what it feels like to be in a woman's body. Karl says that he can't really explain it, except that it's much more satisfying. Danny goes to his bedroom, to a sleeping Theo. Next morning, Theo notices Danny is becoming withdrawn. At work, Theo texts Danny that she got a babysitter for today. Danny forgot it's their wedding anniversary. He texts Karl that he can't join tonight due to his anniversary. Theo waits for Danny at the bar. A stranger tries to flirt with her but leaves her alone after she tells him that she's married. Danny arrives, but they hardly talk at the dinner. Theo tries to talk to him, but he keeps saying that he's been tired. Theo suspects something is going on because Danny no longer touches her or kisses her. She thinks Danny doesn't want her anymore because she's getting older. She tells him that she knows that family life is boring. Even she wants to do something passionate. When the other guy was flirting with her, she wanted to go along with it. But partnerships comes with loyalty, and she has made sacrifices too. She wants to know if Danny is having an affair. Danny promises her that he is not having an affair. Karl is having trouble with making out with Mariella too. Mariella puts on some adult videos and finishes herself off. Danny is playing Tetris when he sees Karl online. He turns off the game and puts his VR kit away. Karl tries to text Danny, but he largely ignores him. Later, Karl gets a call from Danny. Danny wants to stop doing it because it's not fair to Theo. 7 months pass. Karl has turned to drinking. Theo, now pregnant, watches Danny play with their son. It's Danny's birthday. Theo tells him that she has invited Karl over. The three have dinner together. Theo gets up to get dessert. Danny gets angry at Karl for coming over. He thinks Karl should have made up an excuse instead. Karl tells him that for him, nothing matches the experience he had in VR. He even tried the computer-controlled characters, but nothing worked. He tried with other players, but that didn't work out either. Karl tries to persuade him. He tells him that he'll be there in the game, at midnight. Danny, unable to sleep, joins the VR game, makes out with Karl. Karl unexpectedly says, "I love you" to Danny. Danny gets upset because he has been feeling the same way. Danny tells Karl to meet him in real life in 30 minutes. They meet up at the Old Year Club. Danny suggests they kiss in real life. That is the only way to know for sure. They both kiss, but neither of them felt anything. Karl says that it's different in the game. Danny gets angry at him, and they start fighting. Cops arrive and arrest them both. Theo arrives at the station to bail him out. On the way home, Danny tells everything to Theo. Sometime later, Danny is hosting a party at his house. The three have agreed upon an annual tradition. Once every year, Danny gets to make out with Karl in VR, while Theo goes out with a stranger. The episode ends with Theo removing her wedding ring and Danny putting on the VR kit. Please like and subscribe the channel for more videos like these.